Hello and welcome to Muddypawscrime Live that we're doing for the stolen dog Woofie. There's been a slight change. Unfortunately, the admin of Woofie's group has had a last minute ban from Facebook. We can only guess as to why, and we will be doing all we can to find out why. And if anyone's reported due to this live, I don't know, but we will get to the bottom of it. So we wasn't prepared for Woofie's story not to be on Facebook Live. So last minute, thank you for taking the phone call to come on. We're both directors, as you know, of Muddypawscrime. So we're going to do our best. It's not going to go as we planned, but we're going to do our best by reading out the questions that Karen would have been asked, and then I will speak on behalf of Karen with her answers that she was going to give. Before we do that, I'm just going to share my screen and just show you a little bit of a video as an introduction to Woofie and his family. Bear with me. Now, there's two reasons that we're doing this live. One, very important and very heartbreaking. Carolyn doesn't even know if Woofie is alive or deceased. Nobody will let her know. Now that, when a dog is, I know it said 17 in 2 months, that was posted a month ago. Woofie will be 17 in May. You know, please let her know even if he's alive. I mean, it's just beyond words that you can't even let her know this. The second, of course, is to appeal for Woofie to be home where he belongs. So we hope everybody, you know, can help with that and give information. Okay, so it's not as planned, but Molly's going to ask me the questions and I will be reading out Karen's answers.
Can you explain how Woofie was stolen? Were Gardaí informed and were they helpful?
Okay, so on the 15th of May 2020, Woofie, who was 14 at the time, was taken with Carolyn's mother and another dog, Bruy, to the home of a family member in Ballina, County Tipperary, for a holiday. They were taken whilst Carolyn was attending a hospital appointment for a CT scan. A couple of weeks later, Carolyn received a call from her mother asking her to be picked up. Carolyn at this time had to get special permission as she was her carer. The country was in lockdown during COVID. When she got to the address, only Carolyn's mother and Bruy, the other dog, were there, but not the other family member or Woofie. At no time was it agreed by Carolyn that Woofie could stay in Ballina with the person who effectively refused to give Woofie back. Over the coming weeks, further posts asking for help were posted. Sorry, I go back. Apologies for that. The next day, Carolyn put a post out appealing for help to find him on her profile page on Facebook. Over the coming weeks, further posts asking for help were posted. The posts were shared by friends and picked up by various lost and found groups, and Carolyn received help from Fiona at Forget Me Not and various others, and their help was invaluable at this time. The helpers were subjected to harassment and intimidation from or on behalf of the thief, who tried to blacken Carolyn's name with many, many untruths. Carolyn made telephone calls to the Garda stations to alert them about Woofie's disappearance. The dog warden was contacted and posters put up. Vets in the area were emailed. On the 16th of May, Killaloe Vet Clinic put a post up alerting people to Woofie's disappearance. A stolen report was made on the 18th of June by Garda, and there was a radio appeal. 5th of July 2020, Garda telephoned Carolyn and said that they had Woofie and he had to be picked up by 3 o'clock that day as they had nowhere to keep him. With her partner, she travelled to the said Garda station, which was over 2 hours away, arriving at around 2:30 p.m, only to be told that they were called there to verify that Woofie was hers. But she couldn't take him home because they had seen evidence from the person who stole Woofie that he was microchipped to him. She asked for proof, but they took the other person's word for it without any investigation being done. She asked for her vet to be allowed to check. That was denied, and Woofie was returned to the other person. 14th of August, an appeal was put out asking for witnesses or anyone that had seen Woofie maybe straying. 22nd of August, Carolyn received information from a witness that Woofie was still with the person who stole him and is okay. A photograph of Woofie was sent to Carolyn. Despite searches and contacting businesses around the area, Woofie still couldn't be found. On the 15th of October, which I have to say, I actually find this personally sickening. On the 15th of October, to Carolyn's horror, Woofie's collar was returned to Carolyn, being placed on her wall outside her home. Can you imagine that happening? It's just, whoever did this, it's just vile. On the 24th of December, Carolyn received information that the person who stole Woofie had flown out of the country, but Woofie was not believed to be with the person as flown out the country. Where was Woofie at that time? 28th of December, a dedicated Facebook group was open for Woofie to help find him and keep all posts and information in one place. We'll show you the group at the end of the live. So that answers those questions.
What impact has this had on Carolyn?
Okay. So the impact has been traumatic for Carolyn, her partner, and her little son, Jack. It's even affected her other dogs, especially Brewy, who is now nearly 18 years old. He's been unwell and still looks for Woofie. It affects dogs too, you know, when they've grown up together. It's just beyond words. I'll enhance on the impact also. I'm in contact with Carolyn a lot, and I see daily the impact that this has had on her. And it is one of the most heartbreaking stories that Muddypawscrime will be covering. And you know, there needs to be an ending to this. It's just beyond, can't even explain to you the impact it's had on the family. It's just awful.
Has there been any recent leads of information?
Okay. So last September, the person who stole Woofie was seen in a vehicle with others and a dog looking like Woofie. He came to pick up her mother and a dog chipped to Carolyn, who was being walked by her mum at the time. This was without any knowledge to Carolyn, and as she was her mum's carer at the time, she was, of course, very concerned. Appeals were put out on social media for sightings of the vehicle, but had to be taken down at the request of a Gardaí station, as somebody had made a complaint to a Gardaí station that they were being harassed. This is my words now. Obviously, somebody who knows a thief or thief themselves are watching Woofie's page, Carolyn's page, stalking it to find out any information and then run into the Gardaí. Okay. Carolyn's mum eventually returned home with her dog that is chipped to Carolyn, but no sign of Woofie. There's been information given to Muddypawscrime that Woofie was still alive towards the end of last year. This can't be confirmed by evidence as it was only verbal. There was also a sighting of a dog looking like Woofie being walked in the Castle Troy area by the uni, but again, this didn't lead to anything despite searches and contacting people in the area. I personally spoke to somebody that told me that Woofie was with the thief, but that was towards the end of last year. So I have no doubt in my mind that this person took Woofie and has Woofie, or if Woofie has passed away, you do need to let us know with proof.
How and why did you become to know about Woofie and become an admin?
Okay, so this question was to Karen Field, who should have been on the live, but we've explained about her ban. This is Karen's words. I saw a post that came up on my newsfeed from Carolyn on the 27th of December that was appealing for information about Woofie, as she had received information that the person who stole him had flown out of Ireland to Spain, and she needed to know where he was and got in touch, because as we know, animals do travel cross-border. I asked if she would like a group set up to keep all posts and information in one place, and that was how I became involved.
Can you explain the support Muddypawscrime has given Carolyn and yourself regarding Woofie, and if we've been helpful?
Okay, so again, this is in Karen's words and Carolyn's. It was the middle of last year that I contacted Lisa at Muddypawscrime, as I was aware they were doing a production on pet theft. I asked if she could help Carolyn and Woofie. Carolyn has made several complaints to the GSCO, which is the Complaints Department of Gardaí, to investigate the way the whole situation has been handled. The first complaint was closed, stating this matter was civil. Together with Lisa, we helped Carolyn formulate her complaints, adding new evidence. This evidence included hoax calls that were not investigated properly. One of them was from a man saying that Woofie had died and he had been shot. Despite a call to the Garda, no investigation was done regarding the phone call. Harassment, intimidation, assault to Carolyn's person by the thief. An ASBO issued against Carolyn, which we still believe to this day is false, that we are trying to find out. There's been intimidation to Carolyn and other members of her family also through this. These complaints have been with the GSCO since March 2021, and despite files and files of evidence to corroborate the complaints being sent by Carolyn, they've still not been investigated to a conclusion. Despite hitting several brick walls, Lisa, through Muddypawscrime, has continued to help by contacting the Garda and approaching journalists, radio stations, etc. to help find Woofie.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
So this again is in Carolyn's words. Karen's words, I do apologise, Karen Field's words. Throughout this nearly 2 years of looking for Woofie, Carolyn has been battling a serious illness. That illness has been made worse by the extreme stress and harassment she has been subjected to by members of her family, the Garda, and members of the public who have befriended her, but not with the intention to help, but for other means. Carolyn's partner has been a rock, but this has impacted them both. Her son Jack has been deprived of the love from Woofie, who he grown up. Sorry. Sorry, Carolyn. I will carry on. Reason I'm upset is because I've seen this at first hand, how upset they are. Oh, sorry, apologies. I don't normally get like this. Okay. Her son Jack has been deprived of the love from Woofie, who had grown up with for 18 months. He still calls every black dog he sees Woofie. Woofie was stolen to hold to ransom to try to get Carolyn to do something she could never do, and that is sell out of her family home. The theft of Woofie would have been bad enough had it been a stranger, but to be stolen by a family member for monetary gain has caused her horrendous pain. I do apologise, but obviously I've become quite close to Carolyn the past year. I've seen how upset her little son is as well. So yeah, it's heartbreaking.
It really is, yeah. If the thief or any of the thief's friends and family are watching this, what would you like to say to them?
Okay, so this is a statement that I will read out, written by Carolyn. Carolyn has asked me to read this on her behalf. She is appealing to the thief themselves and enablers, appealing to the better side after seeing Jack's video, which we will show you in a moment, asking to let his nearly 17-year-old best friend come home. Can you please send him home to us? If poor Woofie has crossed the Rainbow Bridge, we also appeal for him to be brought home, to be buried in the grounds of the family home, to be reunited once again. I would like to thank every single person that has helped Carolyn, the people who have posted for her. This is from Karen. I'd like to thank every single person that has helped Carolyn, the people who have posted for her, the people who have continued to give her much support over the last 2 years, the members of the group who share her posts and do their own investigations, which we know you're doing over in Ireland. Regarding the group, which in the beginning was a public group, unfortunately had to be made private. This wasn't by choice, but because it was one of the stipulations in the ASBO, that we're not sure if it's a true ASBO or not, that was issued against Carolyn and is the subject of a complaint, which is a complaint going through by Carolyn at the moment that we're helping with. To the followers on Twitter and Instagram who share Woofie's story there, thank you. To Lisa, Molly and Muddypawscrime for giving another platform to get Woofie's face and story out there. I ask you all to continue to support Carolyn and her family, to keep looking for a sighting of Woofie, who will be 17 years old on the 1st of May. So, right, I do apologise for my little breakdowns there, but you can see how much it's affecting a lot of people. I know that a lot of people supporting Carolyn feel the same way as I do, because it's not just about the theft of the dog. You've destroyed a family. It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Okay, right. So I'm going to show you Woofie's Facebook page. If you haven't joined, please join, and please also share. Bear with me. So this is Woofie, stolen from Ballina, County Tipperary, 15th of May 2020. I'm going to show you some photos, and there will be a little video from Jack as well. Let Woofie come home. You might not be able to hear it clearly, but he's basically asking for Woofie to come home. So this is Jack. Heartbroken he is. This is Woofie's collar. I don't know if you can see my cursor. This is Woofie's collar that was returned to Carolyn. That in itself is just beyond words. And this is why, you know, she doesn't know if Woofie's alive or not. I mean, you know, I can't understand how anyone can keep that information to themselves. Oh, sorry, that shouldn't be there. Wrong way. Okay, so this is Woofie. We will put some photos in the comments for you after. Just want to show you this again. Oh, sorry, everything's going wrong now. Dear Maple. Right, okay, I'm going to show you some photos of Woofie's page. I do apologise. It's because of the last minute with Karen getting banned, which we feel could be down to the family. Let me show you some photos from his page. That was a poem I actually wrote for Woofie. Molly, can you see that at all?
I can, yeah. I can
Would
read
you
it
be able
out.
to read it out? Otherwise, I'll be a wreck again.
That's fine. Woofie, my darling, I want you home. Without you, we all feel so alone. A hole in our heart, a hole in our home. The thief that took him, your heart is stone. I miss you every moment of every day. Believe me, Woofie, this person will pay. An evil individual, cold as ice, their own needs at a price. That price is you taken from me. If only the guard eye that are useless can see. My baby is gone, ripped from my heart. My life will never be the same whilst we are apart. My darling Woofie, I love you so much. I miss your smell, your ways, your love and touch. I won't give up my fight to get you back. One day the truth will come out about you, thief, and your disgraceful pack.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we can really say for now. So I do apologise for the little glitches in between and getting so upset, but we literally had about 5 minutes to get the live going, and Molly being pulled in to ask the questions and getting tabs ready and everything, because poor Karen wasn't able to actually get on the live. So yeah, just please keep sharing Woofie's posts. I would do a personal message to the thief, but I will probably get banned if I'm quite honest with you. So all we say is if anybody knows where Woofie is or knows what's happened to Woofie, please, please, please get in touch with the admin at Woofie's group or contact Muddypawscrime. Now, we'll treat all information confidential. And, you know, God, I don't need to be involved. Just let Woofie go home. Let Carolyn know if Woofie is alive or not. Anybody that knows where Woofie is, anybody that knows the thief, please also, you know, let us pass the information through Muddypawscrime and we'll pass it on to Carolyn. However, we will ask for proof. There is a little video that Jack did. I do apologise. I thought it was in what I showed you, but it went a little bit wrong. If you can just bear with me for 2 seconds, I'll try and find that. Bear with me. I don't know if you want to say anything, Molly, just while I'm trying to find this.
Yeah, just please do the right thing for Carolyn and her family. The impact that this has had is devastating. Just to let them know what has happened, if he has passed, or just to give him back. It's... I have no words for...
That's the thing. With this story, there is no words, unfortunately. It's just beyond belief. Okay, right. Yeah. I found Jack's little video. It's only a few seconds long, but you might not be able to hear it clearly, but it wants Woofie home. I must also add, I think that's why I got so upset as well when I mentioned about Jack. After he'd done this little video, bless him, he was so upset. He cries even, you know, before he did the video. He cries so much over Woofie. Every black dog he sees, he wants Woofie. You know, he cries himself to sleep some nights, wanting to see Woofie. How can you do... You might want to do this to Carolyn. How can you do that to a child? That is your nephew. It's disgusting. Yeah, maybe I gave a clue there. I'm kind of a little bit beyond caring at the moment. Woofie needs to go home. Give Carolyn information. Right, I'm just going to share my screen to show that little video from Jack. If you watch it very carefully, oh sorry, it's still going. Bless him. If you watch that video very carefully, the little thing to actually look at how Jack's little face lights up when he first says Woofie and looks at it. Right, okay. We're gonna go before I'm a wreck again. I do apologise. I hope we did Woofie justice, and one of the hardest stories we've had to cover, because as I say, become very close to the family. Karen, of course, Karen Fields has been Carolyn's rock for a long time. You know, thank you so much, Karen, for all that you do for Carolyn, and you know, you are a rock to so many people. And I know that a lot of people will agree with me, you know, not just for Carolyn, but for a lot of other owners also, and for myself. So yeah, please keep sharing Woofie. Any questions, pop them in the comments. We haven't gone through the comments. I think we've said all we really need to. Just please, please, please keep sharing. Share this video, show the impact. Yeah, just any information. If you don't want to get hold of the admin at Woofie's group, then please let Muddypawscrime. There are certain other things that we know, but we can't discuss because things are with the GSCO at the moment, and we don't want anything to obviously affect that. But we will be backing Carolyn 1000% with everything until she gets news on Woofie and everything else. Okay, so thank you everybody that's been watching, and please share the video everywhere just so that we can get. Basically, if anybody knows where Woofie is and you don't even let Carolyn know that he's alive, you shouldn't be walking this planet. And that's my final word. Okay, speak soon. Thanks, Molly, also for coming in last minute.
It's absolutely fine.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.